Session 91, Private Property. Carla Bennett spearheads a campaign to stop activities such as culling and fracking that can adversely affect ecosystems and cause health issues. She has been travelling from venue to venue, giving talks about some of the problems she has witnessed and envisions, as well as suggesting some changes that can be made in. Today, she is holding a conference at a friendship hall that hosts 200 people. She has a full audience for today's talk and is very nervous despite being a skilled orator and having done this many times before. As Carla takes to the podium, the audience quietens down and focuses their attention on her. She takes a sip of water from the glass that has been placed there for her, then addresses the audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for attending this evening. I know that many of you have children at home and have had to arrange a babysitter so you could be here tonight. Others have had to battle with the rush hour traffic, then find a place to park, which has probably been one of the most frustrating experiences of your life. So, you being here means so much to me. I hope to make it all up to you, mainly by keeping what I have to say as short as possible. I wish to talk to you today about private property. Private property is a legal designation of the ownership of property by non-government legal entities. The term private property derives from the Latin deprivare, which means to deprive. The rich Romans would wall off gardens to deprive the poor of their use. In England, the word property did not have a legal definition until the 17th century, its predominant use being for property that held some value of production. This was extended to some of the first parks in England that were walled off by private owners, mostly for the purpose of hunting. Private property access, use, exclusion, and management are controlled by the private owner or a group of legal owners. This, together with property rights, which determine how a resource is used and owned, means that property that should otherwise be sustained and maintained as the part of our delicate ecosystem is being used by individuals, associations, and governments in such a way that is damaging to both us and the environment. Fracking is the newest horror visited upon us in this new age. Due to property rights, associations and individuals can allow companies to drill into the ground and inject dangerous chemicals into the earth, affecting plant life and water. Never mind that I cannot drink a glass of water from my tap in case I become frightfully ill. Imagine the damage that this is going to do to the fauna that rely wholly on the vegetation and water so they may survive. Because of the concept of private property and property rights, big box companies can move into a community and sell their wares at prices that undercut the independent business person, butchers, bakers, grocers, all put out of business because the community has no say as to whether they want a new supermarket to move into the area or not. To challenge this and empower ourselves is no easy feat, and I won't know the exact answer to this problem, but what I do want to do is tell you a little about an ideal that has existed before. A socialist named Gerard Winstanley in 1649 started a group called the True Levellers, also known as the Diggers. The group's core idea was born from their attempts to farm on common land, otherwise called the commons. The commons refers to the cultural and natural resources accessible to all members of a society, including natural materials such as air, water, and a habitable earth. These resources are held in common, not owned privately. However, while common land might have been owned collectively by a legal entity, the Crown or a single person, it was subject to different forms of regulated usage, such as grazing of livestock, hunting, lopping, or foliage, or collecting resines. Everyone understood that it was in the best interest of the community to maintain the commons. For each member of the community that wished to use the land was allowed to work the land to yield as much as each person needed for their means. Overusing the land or dominating ownership would result in the community confronting the guilty party and forcing them to cease overdevelopment and, in extreme or repeated cases, stop them from using the land altogether. If such a thing occurred with the Native American Indians, should a member of the tribe kill a buffalo out of season, or take more than they needed, the rest of the tribe would break the offender's weapons, burn their home, and redistribute what was left amongst the tribe, reducing the offender to beggary. Now, I am not saying we should go out and set fire to supermarkets or attack farmers guilty of intensive farming. Violence is not the answer, and I hope it can be avoided at all costs. Many communities have started a skills share system known as LETs, Local Exchange Trading. Each person, based on what they can do, can offer their services for a price, though this price is not monetary, rather a substitute. People earn LETs credits by providing a service and can then spend the credits on whatever is offered by others on the screen. For example, childcare, transport, food, home repairs, or the hire of tools and equipment. If only we could utilise schemes like these nationally. We could starve the big businesses of their profits and discourage further companies from investing in private property. You've been a great audience. Thank you for listening.